Welcome to Season 3 of The Breakdown, the official podcast of the Breakaway Roping Journal and calfroping.com. This season, we're diving into both the breakaway and calf roping like never before, bringing you the personalities, successes, and horses that make these events great.
You can expect training tips from the top ropers, stories from the road, and industry news that goes beyond the numbers.
I'm Taylor Vollen, your calf roping host.
And I'm Lillian Kent, your breakaway host.
And this is The Breakdown.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown. This is your host, Lillian, and today I am so excited to bring you an episode with the Resistol Rookie of the Year, Summer Williams. Summer is super sweet. She hails from Mississippi, and throughout the interview, I was really struck by just the wholesome outlook she has on life and how she tackled the mental game this year. She rounded up $27,503 in rookie money, and she did that in only 4 months. She bought her card in the beginning of June and got to work. So this is a fun one, guys. Special thanks to our sponsor today, Patriot Las Vegas. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them during the break, but for now, it's time to rope. Let's go.
Yeah, so excited to talk to you this morning. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, congratulations first and foremost. 2024 Breakaway Resistol Rookie of the Year. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much. I feel really good. I'm excited for the new season. It's a big accomplishment, so it's a blessing for sure.
Yes. Finished the year with $27,502 won. It was getting a little tight there at the end. It was a little nerve-wracking, I bet.
Yes, it definitely was. I didn't have the end of the season was a little rough for me.
Okay.
So I was kind of on my toes, but I was cheering everybody on. The breakaway is always such a tight deal. There seems to be so many ties at all the rodeos, and there's just a lot of good girls, which makes me happy for sure.
Yeah. So you and I talked back in August, but today I wanted to kind of go for the Summer Williams story. You know, there's going to be some people listening that have never heard Summer Williams or just don't know you that well. So kind of start from the beginning. Tell me a little bit about growing up and, did you grow up in rodeo? Just kind of start there.
Yes. So my dad team roped. My two sisters played softball, and my mom was really involved with them and that. And my dad was always going to team ropings on the weekend, and I always wanted to go with him. So that's kind of how I got into it. I rode since I was little. And then I started junior high rodeo in the 3rd grade. I started breakaway and just kind of went from there. Rodeo wasn't a super big deal in Mississippi. A lot of people did it, but you don't ever really go very far with it. It seems a handful do, but not many, not like Texas or Oklahoma or anything like that.
Yes, I was going to say Perkston, Mississippi.
Yes, that's quite on the coast.
Okay. And so you say there's a lot of people there that rodeo, but after college, it's kind of done for them, or after high school, rather.
Yeah, I would say most people usually stop after high school, and then maybe 25-30% go on and do it in college. And then you don't really see many, say about maybe 10% of people in all of Mississippi go after college and maybe hit the pro rodeo circuit a little bit, but
yeah,
definitely slim.
Okay, so rodeo through junior high and high school. Did you do any other events?
I barrel raced and pole band and goat tied when in my junior high years, and then high school I just breakaway, team rope, and goat tied. And then when I went to college, I still team rope. I let go of the goat tying. Those years are over for me. And mainly I focus on breakaway. But like I've said in the past when we talked, I do love to team rope. So
Mm-hmm. And you heal, don't you?
Yes, I heel and I head, but mostly head.
Oh, okay. I thought you had just healed, but you're doing all of it on us.
Yep.
Okay. So, talk to me about college. I know Cisco College was in there somewhere.
Yes, I when I moved last August, I went to Cisco and now I'm in my second year there. And I really like it a lot for sure. I love Don Ed. I'm biased, but I think he's one of the best rodeo coaches in the Southeastern circuit. He just is very involved and always cheering us on, even if it we're not competing at the college rodeos. And I really appreciate that. And
Yeah.
so I'm excited to finish out my last year there. Not really sure what I'll do with college just yet after that, but
Okay. And so you're getting an associate's right now?
yes, in equine business actually.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm sure with the Resistol Rookie title under your belt, it's going to be really tempting to just jump into full-time rodeo.
Yes, it definitely will be.
Okay, so talk to me about the beginning of the season. I recall that this kind of all just happened to you and was a surprise. Like it wasn't something that you had really been planning.
Yeah, for sure. So whenever I started, I had been at Cisco for obviously a year, and then the summer came around, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And I was either gonna go home and work for my dad or go rodeo. And my boyfriend convinced me to go rodeo a little bit. And I really believe in goal setting. So he asked me what my goals were, and I told him I wanted to just make the circuit finals. Well, I would say my season really started super late. I didn't end up getting my card into until the first weekend of June.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely a little late.
yeah, for sure. And then it started going pretty good, and I seen I had a chance, and I was like, I'm gonna try for it. There's nothing to lose. I had done good at the circuit rodeos and started doing pretty good at some of the bigger rodeos. That definitely helped a lot. And then I went out west, and it just all worked out in my favor.
hmm And speaking of circuit rodeos, you were a Great Lakes Circuit Rodeoer this year, and I just took a peek, and guess who's leading the Great Lakes Circuit standings?
Yeah,
um, how does it feel to be you're leading by a little less than $1,000 ahead of some pretty wolfy ladies over there in the Great Lakes?
yeah. So when I went there, I remember last year I went and watched my boyfriend at the circuit finals last year, and the breakaway has definitely gotten a lot tougher there this year than it was last year, which that's awesome. I love that. But I'm really excited. I like all the girls. Everybody just wants to do their best. I don't really feel like you're in competition with other girls, but just you versus you, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to have the opportunity to go in a good spot and compete
hmm
there.
And talk to me a little bit about your hauling partners this year.
I at first talked with Shaylee King over the fourth, and I stayed with her out west for like 2 weeks. And then whenever I came back for some circuit rodeos and a handful of bigger rodeos in that area. And I hauled with Allie Masters and Laney Masters.
hmm
And then when I I went out west kind of late, just like the last 4 weeks, honestly. So I had just some friends that flew out there and were kind enough to help me drive. So that was a blessing. But I didn't really go with any other contestants during that time.
Okay. You had, I believe, 65 rodeos on your count. So for, not hauling all year, 65 is still a pretty big number. Were you hitting, several a weekend? Kind of talk to me about what it looked like for you.
So honestly, I would say we'd go to two, maybe three a weekend whenever it first started. I didn't have very many rodeos until the last 6 weeks. That's when I entered everything. I think within the last 6 weeks, I probably had 30 rodeos on my entries, like my callbacks.
Mhm.
So that's kind of definitely when it started adding up. I went to a bunch over the 4th, not as much as some girls for sure, but um, definitely probably 2 a day or 1 every day of the week for sure.
Okay. And I have it down that you kind of started really hitting big there at the end of July. Um, we had Ogden, Nebraska, Kansas, kind of setting you up to clinch the Resistol Rookie title.
Yes, that was for sure. I had a good amount won, but not like a ton. And then it had been going really bad over the 4th for me. And I was convinced to turn it around the last week. So I just kept my head down and stayed confident. And it
Mm-hmm.
worked out in my favor for sure.
Hey everyone, we're going to take a quick break from this episode to talk to you about the Patriot Las Vegas. You and I already know that Las Vegas is the place to be come early December, and I'm about to tell you about some great opportunities that the Patriot Event is bringing team ropers, tie-down ropers, breakaway ropers, barrel racers, and more in Las Vegas. So, to get things straight, there is actually 2 locations for Patriot Vegas. There is the Patriot Event at Horseman's Park, and then there is the Huey Junior Patriot at the Plaza Hotel and Casino. Horseman's Park has World Series team ropings. There are tons of jackpots for youth ropers of all ages. There's an open 5D barrel race, and that's just at the first location. Over there at the Plaza, the Huey Junior Patriot, you got last chance qualifiers and the breakaway. There is rope for the crown stuff. There is tie down stuff, goats, poles, steer wrestling. Point is, there's going to be something for everyone, and you're definitely going to want to go to patriotevent.com, check out the Las Vegas tab, and see what you need to get involved in come December.
What were some of the things that you were working on over the summer as a pro rodeo roper?
Whenever I started my summer, I really wanted to work on my confidence. I didn't really have any experience with rodeo. I'd gone to a handful of amateur rodeos just growing up. And then I went to some UPRAs before I left and the college rodeos. So I didn't have much experience with rodeos in general. I just wanted to do my best and have fun, try not to put too much pressure on myself. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I would say my main focus was just working on my confidence. I feel like that's something girls struggle with a little bit more than guys, for sure, because we start trying to do too much, worrying about what everybody else has done. But if you just do you, it ends up working out better.
I totally agree. And that's something that I hear from, all the rookies I talk to, and then even the pro girls is getting out of their head and staying positive and going on to the next one. It seems super hard. I can't even imagine what you guys are trying to do gymnastically out there mentally.
Yes, for sure. I think that one thing I really struggled with was just the fact that I didn't really grow up in rodeo. Like, I didn't really grow up in super tough competition like Texas or Oklahoma. So for a while, I would just beat myself with going in and thinking that these girls are better than me or whatever, and not really focusing on, hey, I work really hard at this and I know I can do it. Just believe in myself, worrying about me. So I would say to someone coming up, definitely just focus on you, work hard, and keep your head down, and it will all work out in your favor if you just, like you said, worry about you. It's hard enough while you're on the road and going to all those rodeos. Don't make
Mm-hmm.
it harder.
I saw a video recently that wasn't rodeo related at all, but um, it was like a self positive thing. And it was like, you are the only one in the whole world who's just supposed to automatically be on your own side. Like you are the only one who is literally there for yourself.
For
And
sure.
I thought it was so good and so hard as we go out, throughout our day to day.
Yeah, for sure. I found I love motivational things or self-positive things, especially being out on the road. And that was my main focus to get better at is my confidence. I followed a lot of pages or read a lot of books, and
Mm-hmm.
I see the thing and it said confidence isn't about thinking that you're better than everyone, but just knowing that you're good is good enough. And I think that definitely relates to rodeo for sure.
Totally.
It related to me.
Right. Because we do make it about the numbers, right? That's my job is to compare standings and we compare numbers. But at the end of the day, it's about you and your race and how you're doing and if you are better than you were yesterday.
Yes, for
I love
sure.
that. And last time we talked, you really mentioned your faith and how it was such a big thing for you, John 3:17. Talk to me a little bit about kind of how that continued to play a part throughout the summer.
Yeah, so I've always grown up in church. My family is very faith-based, and I'm so thankful for that. I would say over the summer, even when I was struggling, I just found my confidence and my faith, and honestly, the joy to keep going and keep loving rodeo, even when it was going really bad, through God. And I prayed about it a lot, and I just found peace the last month. Like I said, being out west did not go good for me at all. And I was just kind of getting in my own way. And I found a lot of peace in the fact that I knew if this was God's plan for me, then it was going to happen. And I was just thankful to be there and that somebody might come to know Jesus through me. And I know that He was using that in my favor and in His favor because at the end of the day, that's all we're here for, to love other people, show them
Mm-hmm.
show them Jesus. So
That's awesome. Pivoting a little bit, let's talk about some of your like favorite rodeo memories. I know I mentioned Ogden earlier. I mean, you made over $5,000 at that rodeo. Were there some big hitters that kind of stand out to you?
so I would say, like I said, over the fourth it was going bad for me. And I remember trying to make it to Ogden and we had to drive all night, me and my traveling partner. And I was so tired at this point. We had been up for several days, for sure 2 days straight. And I was like, I know I'm making it to that rodeo because I'm gonna do good and I'm gonna turn my week around. And I would say that was like definitely just one of my core memories, just making it to that rodeo and doing good. Because I remember on the way there, I was so determined to get there because I was like, I'm doing good no matter what. I'm not letting my fourth keep going bad. Yeah, I remember talking to her and she's like, maybe like we should just stop. And I called my boyfriend. He's like, you should, if you're too tired, just stop and just turn around. And I was like, I am not too tired. I know I'm going to make it to that rodeo and I know I'm going to do good. And when I got there, I've never been so tired in my whole entire life. And I was sitting there waiting to rope. I was third out and I kept trying to watch the start. And I remember thinking that my eyes kept closing every time the girls would nod and I couldn't see the start. And I was like, I know I'm going to do good anyway. So after it worked out in my favor, I called my boyfriend, told him how I did. And then I felt like I was on top of the world. Nobody could bring me down.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about your horses, the horses that you did it all on. You got Keeper and Callie.
Yes, they have been the biggest blessing to me. I got Keeper in my 10th grade year after my breakaway horse that I had passed away unexpectedly. She died of colic, actually.
Mm.
And I found him from a good friend, sent him to me. And I didn't love him at first. I had him for a very long time. And I was just like, no, like this is not the horse for me. I messed up buying him. And I tried to sell him for probably 6 months and couldn't sell him, even if I tried to give him away. And that was so God just knowing exactly that I needed him,
Mm-hmm.
because now I would never sell him. And I've had several people try to buy him for me. But just to think that I tried to sell him for so long and nobody bought him. And then I didn't take him anywhere for probably a year, even after I took him off the market, because we just needed to work on some things. I needed to get to know him and he needed to get to know me. And now I just feel like I know him like the back of my hand. He'll never mess up for me. So Callie, she's young. I got her when she was super young, and I have a lot of confidence on her just because I played a big part in the horse she turned into. So I know what she's going to do and how she feels. And I think she finds her confidence in me just because I did teach her everything. But that makes it way easier to know them really good.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, their faults, you know, their strengths, you know, the buttons you installed.
Yes.
For you, what makes a good breakaway horse?
I would say when I'm looking at a breakaway horse or working on my own horses, just scoring good is a big deal to me. Running hard, stopping isn't the biggest deal to me, just break my rope fast. But
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely look at scoring, running hard to their spot, and just fast across the line in your hand for sure. Because breakaway is so fast, if your horse isn't in your hand, I feel like it can really take you out of the roping.
Mm-hmm. You guys really have to be in sync.
Yes. And so like our most important part is from the time we nod our head to the pin. And that's really freaking hard to find a horse that's good at that leaves hard but scores good every time. So that's mainly what I try to work on with my horses. And if I'm looking for a horse, kind of look for those.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the 2025 season. Cannot believe I'm saying 2025, but technically we've already started. Talk to me a little bit about some of your goals. You know, we got the circuit finals and then you're moving to the wilderness circuit. What's the Resistol Rookie that you're gonna be up to?
Honestly, my goals are to do my best, hopefully win the circuit if it works out. I hope that I can get into the NFR Open, maybe try to qualify for the NFR if I do good this winter at some of those rodeos. And like I said, get into the NFR Open, things like that. But ultimately, just have fun, enjoy my time being out there. I know there's a ton of people that would love the opportunity to be out there, and we'll get super caught up. I know I will in the roping and wanting to do good, that I just forget that it's a blessing that I'm there and that I have the opportunity.
All right, Summer. Well, thank you so much for your time today and best of luck at the Great Lakes Circuit Finals. I really appreciate your time this morning and hopefully we'll be chatting again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lillian. I'm thankful to be on the podcast. It's so cool. And good luck to everybody in the 2025 season.
Yes, ma'am. We will catch you later.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up our very introspective episode with the 2024 Resistol Rookie of the Year in the Breakaway Roping, Miss Summer Williams. I definitely think this is going to be a name that you need to stash away in your brain. You're going to be seeing it quite a bit come 2025, and I'm just super pumped for Summer and everything that she accomplished this year. Special thanks again to the Patriot Event for supporting this week's episode of The Breakdown. You guys need to head to their website and see how you can get involved with the Las Vegas edition of The Patriot this year. We will catch you guys next time on The Breakdown.